Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 270. I am so happy that you're here today and I hope your day is going fantastic. We are going to be reading out of 1 Kings chapter 8, Ezekiel chapter 25, and then we are going to be starting the book of Hebrews today by reading Hebrews chapter 1. And then we're going to close out the day with Psalm 136, but only verses 16 through 26 today. So I want to give you a heads up. We are going to have another sunrise, but I managed the blinds that are in front of my window, and hopefully we won't have the distracting shadows and all that. I might not be able to see anything, but let's just give it a go. This channel is completely unprofessional. I'm just a girl reading the Bible to you, and we just press on through. So let's get started with 1 Kings chapter 8. Here we go. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel with all the heads of the tribes, the princes of the fathers' households of the children of Israel, to King Solomon in Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of Yahweh's covenant out of David's city, which is Zion. All the men of Israel assembled themselves to King Solomon at the feast in the month Ethanim, which is the 7th month. All the elders of Israel came, and the priests picked up the ark. They brought up Yahweh's ark, the tent of meeting, and all the holy vessels that were in the tent. The priests and the Levites brought these up. King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel who were assembled to him were with him before the ark, sacrificing sheep and cattle that could not be counted or numbered for multitude. The priests brought in the ark of Yahweh's covenant to its place, into the inner sanctuary of the house, to the most holy place, even under the cherubim's wings. For the cherubim spread their wings out over the place of the ark, and the cherubim covered the ark and its poles above. The poles were so long that the ends of the poles were seen from the holy place before the inner sanctuary, but they were not seen outside. They are there to this day. There was nothing in the ark except the 2 stone tablets which Moses put there at Horeb, when Yahweh made a covenant with the children of Israel when they came out of the land of Egypt. It came to pass, when the priests had come out of the holy place, that the cloud filled Yahweh's house, so that the priests could not stand to minister by reason of the cloud, for Yahweh's glory filled Yahweh's house. Then Solomon said, Yahweh has said that he would dwell in the thick darkness. I have surely built you a house of habitation, a place for you to dwell in forever. The king turned his face around and blessed all the assembly of Israel, and all the assembly of Israel stood. He said, Blessed is Yahweh, the God of Israel, who spoke with his mouth to David your father, and has with his hand fulfilled it, saying, Since the day that I brought my people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build a house, that my name might be there. But I chose David to be over my people Israel. Now it was in the heart of David my father to build a house for the name of Yahweh, the God of Israel. But Yahweh said to David my father, Whereas it was in your heart to build a house for my name, you did well that it was in your heart. Nevertheless, you shall not build the house, but your son who shall come out of your body, he shall build the house for my name. Yahweh has established his word that he spoke, for I have risen up in the place of David my father, and I sit on the throne of Israel as Yahweh promised, and have built the house for the name of Yahweh, the God of Israel. There I have set a place for the ark, in which is Yahweh's covenant, which he made with our fathers when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. Solomon stood before Yahweh's altar in the presence of all the assembly of Israel and spread out his hands towards heaven. And he said, Yahweh, God of Israel, there is no God like you in heaven above or on earth beneath, who keeps covenant and loving kindness with your servants who walk before you with all their heart, who has kept with your servant David, my father, that which you promised. Yes, you spoke with your mouth and have filled it with your hand, as it is today. Now therefore, may Yahweh, the God of Israel, keep with your servant David, my father, that which you have promised him, saying, There shall not fail from you a man in my sight to sit on the throne of Israel, if only your children take heed to their way, to walk before me as you have walked before me. Now therefore, God of Israel, please let your servant be verified, which you spoke to your servant David my father. But will God in very deed dwell on the earth? Behold, heaven and the heaven of heavens can't contain you, how much less this house that I have built? Yet have respect for the prayer of your servant and for his supplication. Yahweh my God, to listen to the cry and the prayer which your servant prays before you today, that your eyes may be open toward this house night and day, even toward the place of which you have said, My name shall be there, to listen to the prayer which your servant prays towards this place. Listen to the supplication of your servant and of your people Israel when they pray toward this place. Yes, here in heaven, your dwelling place, and when you hear, forgive. If a man sins against his neighbor, and an oath is laid on him to cause him to swear, and he comes and swears before your altar in this house, then hear in heaven, and act, and judge your servants, condemning the wicked to bring his way on his own head, and justifying the righteous to give him according to his righteousness. When your people Israel are struck down before the enemy because they have sinned against you, if they turn again to you and confess your name and pray and make supplication to you in this house, then hear in heaven and forgive the sin of your people Israel, and bring them again to the land which you gave to their fathers. When the sky is shut up and there is no rain because they have sinned against you, if they pray toward this place and confess your name and turn from their sin when you afflict them, then hear in heaven and forgive the sin of your servants and of your people Israel when you teach them the good way in which they should walk, and send rain on your land, which you have given to your people for an inheritance. If there is famine in the land, if there is pestilence, if there is blight, mildew, locust, or caterpillar, if their enemy besieges them in the land of their cities, whatever plague, whatever sickness there is, whatever prayer and supplication is made by any man or by all your people Israel, so shall each know the plague of his own heart, and spread out his hands towards this house. Then hear in heaven, your dwelling place, and forgive and act, and give to every man according to all his ways, whose heart you know. For you, even you only, know the hearts of all the children of men, that they may fear you all the days that they live in the land which you gave to our fathers. Moreover, concerning the foreigner, who is not of your people Israel, when he comes out of a far country for your name's sake, for they shall hear of your great name, and of your mighty hand, and of your outstretched arm. When he comes and prays towards this house, hear in heaven, your dwelling place, and do according to all that the foreigner calls to you for, that all the people of the earth may know your name, to fear you, as do your people Israel. and that they may know that this house which I have built is called by your name. If your people go out to battle against their enemy, by whatever way you shall send them, and they pray to Yahweh toward the city which you have chosen, and toward the house which I have built for your name, then hear in heaven their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause. If they sin against you, for there is no man who doesn't sin, and you are angry with them and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captive to the land of the enemy, far off or near. Yet if they repent in the land where they are carried captive, and turn again, and make supplication to you in the land of those who carried them captive, saying, We have sinned and have done perversely, we have dealt wickedly. If they return to you with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies who carried them captive, and pray to you toward their land which you gave to their fathers, the city which you have chosen, and the house which I have built for your name, then hear their prayer and their supplication in heaven, your dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive your people who have sinned against you, and all their transgressions in which they have transgressed against you, and give them compassion before those who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. For they are your people and your inheritance, which you brought out of Egypt from the middle of the iron furnace, that your eyes may be open to the supplication of your servant and to the supplication of your people Israel, to listen to them whenever they cry to you. For you separated them from among all the peoples of the earth, to be your inheritance, as you spoke by Moses your servant, when you brought our fathers out of Egypt, Lord Yahweh. It was so, when Solomon had finished praying all this prayer and supplication to Yahweh, he arose from before Yahweh's altar, from kneeling on his knees with his hands spread out toward heaven. He stood and blessed all the assembly of Israel with a loud voice, saying, Blessed be Yahweh, who has given rest to his people Israel, according to all that he promised. There has not failed one word of all his good promise, which he promised by Moses his servant. May Yahweh our God be with us as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us or forsake us, that he may incline our hearts to him, to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, his statutes, and his ordinances, which he commanded our fathers. Let these my words, with which I have made supplication before Yahweh, be heard to Yahweh our God day and night, that he may maintain the cause of his servant and the cause of his people Israel, as every day requires, that all the peoples of the earth may know that Yahweh himself is God. There is no one else. Let your heart therefore be perfect with Yahweh our God, to walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments, as it is today. The king and all Israel with him offered sacrifice before Yahweh. Solomon offered for the sacrifice of peace offerings, which he offered to Yahweh, 22,000 head of cattle and 120,000 sheep. So the king and all the children of Israel dedicated Yahweh's house. The same day the king made in the middle of the court holy, that was before Yahweh's house. For there he offered the burnt offering, the meal offering, and the fat of the peace offerings, because the bronze altar that was before Yahweh was too little to receive the burnt offering, the meal offering, and the fat of the peace offerings. So Solomon held the feast at that time, and all Israel with him, a great assembly, from the entrance of Hamath to the brook of Egypt, before Yahweh our God, 7 days and 7 more days, even 14 days. On the eighth day he sent the people away, and they blessed the king and went to their tents joyful and glad in their hearts for all the goodness that Yahweh had shown to David his servant and to Israel his people. Wow, 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 what a day that would have been. Oh, I would have loved to have been there. All right, Ezekiel chapter 25. Let me just take, that was a long chapter. Ooh, it is bright, isn't it? There is not one single cloud in the sky. Why would there be? All right, here we go. Yahweh's word came to me saying, Son of man, set your face toward the children of Ammon and prophesy against them. Tell the children of Ammon, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. The Lord Yahweh says, because you said, Aha, against my sanctuary when it was profaned, and against the land of Israel when it was made desolate, and against the house of Judah when they went into captivity. Therefore, behold, I will deliver you to the children of the east for a possession. They will set their encampments in you and make their dwellings in you. They will eat your fruit, and they will drink your milk. I will make Rabbah a stable for camels, and the children of Ammon a resting place for flocks. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. For the Lord Yahweh says, because you have clapped your hands, stamped with the feet, and rejoiced with all the contempt of your soul against the land of Israel, therefore, behold, I have stretched out my hand on you, and will deliver you for a plunder to the nations. I will cut you off from all the peoples. Then I will cause you to perish out of the countries. I will destroy you, and then you will know that I am Yahweh. The Lord Yahweh says, because Moab and Seir say, behold, the house of Judah is like all the nations. Therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from the cities which are on its frontiers, the glory of the country, Beth Jeshimoth, Baalmeon, and Kiriathaim, to the children of the east, to go against the children of Ammon, and I will give them for a possession, that the children of Ammon may not be remembered among the nations. I will execute judgments on Moab, and then they will know I am Yahweh. The Lord Yahweh says, because Edom has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and has greatly offended and taken revenge on them. Therefore, the Lord Yahweh says, I will stretch out my hand on Edom, and will cut off man and animal from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman. They will fall by the sword, even to Dedan. I will lay my vengeance on Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they will do in Edom according to my anger and according to my wrath. Then they will know my vengeance, says the Lord Yahweh. The Lord Yahweh says, because the Philistines have taken revenge and have taken vengeance with contempt of soul to destroy with perpetual hostility, therefore the Lord Yahweh says, behold, I will stretch out my hand on the Philistines, and I will cut off the Cherethites and destroy the remnant of the sea coast. I will execute great vengeance on them with wrathful rebukes. Then they will know that I am Yahweh when I lay my vengeance on them. There will be no mistaking. All right, we are going to begin the book of Hebrews. Let's begin with chapter 1. God, having in the past spoken to the fathers through the prophets, at many times and in various ways, has at the end of these days spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, through whom also he made the worlds. His Son is the radiance of his glory, the very image of his substance, and upholding all things by the word of his power, who, when he had by himself purified us of our sins, sat down on the right hand of the Majesty on high, having become as much better than the angels, as the more excellent name he has inherited is better than theirs. For to which of the angels did he say at any time, "You are my Son, today I have become your Father"? And again, "I will be to him a father, and he will be to me a son"? When he again brings in the firstborn into the world, he says, "Let all the angels of God worship him." Of the angels, he says, "He makes his angels winds, and his servants a flame of fire." But of the Son, he says, "Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of uprightness is the scepter of your kingdom. You have loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness above your fellows. And you, Lord, in the beginning laid the foundation of the earth. The heavens are the works of your hands. They will perish, but you will continue. They all will grow old like a garment does. You will roll them up like a mantle, and they will be changed. But you are the same. Your years won't fail. But which of the angels has he told at any time, "Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies the footstool of your feet"? Aren't they all serving spirits, sent out to do service for the sake of those who will inherit salvation? Just a little verifiable information there. That Jesus is not just an angel. There is a difference between Jesus and the angels. I love that. Okay, here we go. Psalm 136, verses 16 through 26. One more sip here. I feel a cough coming on. Not this day. No, no, no. To him who led his people through the wilderness, for his loving kindness endures forever. To him who struck great kings, for his loving kindness endures forever. And killed mighty kings, for his loving kindness endures forever. Sihon, king of the Amorites, for his loving kindness endures forever. Og, king of Bashan, for his loving kindness endures forever. And gave their land as an inheritance, for his loving kindness endures forever. Even a heritage to Israel his servant, for his loving kindness endures forever, who remembered us in our low state, for his loving kindness endures forever, and has delivered us from our adversaries, for his loving kindness endures forever, who gives food to every creature, for his loving kindness endures forever. Oh, give thanks to the God of heaven, for his loving kindness endures forever. Give thanks to Yahweh, for he is good. Oh. Oh, guys, thank you so much for stopping by today. I am so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that I get the opportunity to read every day to you, and am so thankful that you continue to come back. If you have any thoughts, feel free to comment, or you can go on to the About section on my channel, and I have my email in there. If you don't want your comment public, you could just email me and I will see it. I check the emails daily. Thanks again for stopping by. Come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 271. Have the most wonderful day, and may you find clouds or shade under a tree. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.